Hi. So, first question: do you have your explicit consent to record this conversation?
I'm in a different country anyway. If it's legal shenanigans you're wishing to avoid, you can't avoid them. But yeah, whatever. You have my consent.
All right, I'll allow it. So, first question I had is actually, so the way this is gonna work is I'm just gonna ask you a couple questions and I guess you could treat this as something like a primer for people who are new to the online left, whether that be Twitter or leftypol or some other medium.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Let's hear it.
What the fuck is that? What was in the background, dude?
I was dragging a chair over so I can sit down.
Jesus Christ, dude. I feel like I'm talking to someone who has like twice as many layers of irony on right now. Anyways, so for those who don't know, what is leftypol and how has it affected leftist discourse online?
It's terrible and made absolutely no impact outside of the 500 people who post on it. But for those 5 people, it's very funny. And I like it.
Okay, so this is gonna be.
If you want a better answer than that, you can cut that bit out.
No, I is that the honest truth that you want?
Well, if I'm perfectly honest, I don't seriously think that leftypol has an effect online. It has about, last time I checked, 700 maybe posters. I don't know. I when I first came on, it had around 300, and now it has something like 6 or 7. No. The left is definitely growing online. I mean, there's no real doubt about that. But leftypol doesn't have much to do with that. It would be growing regardless. That's just a pretty natural reaction when people see, if you see kind of Donald Trump as the evil right and Hillary Clinton as the evil center, and then Bernie Sanders as sort of the nice, quite cuddly guy on the left. A lot of people are drawn to that. I mean, I know that only applies to America, but it doesn't really, because
yeah, Britain has a similar thing.
People from other countries see American politics and are influenced by it, whereas people from America don't care about other countries' politics and aren't influenced by it. So, anything that happens in America is a big deal everywhere, especially something as big as this election.
Yeah, and I think even that similar phenomenon has happened in Britain, where you have David Cameron, the ex-prime minister who resigned after he fucked a pig, right? I mean,
that wasn't why he resigned.
Yeah, but that's probably why he should have resigned.
He should have resigned, but no.
It was.
There's no proof he even fucked a pig.
I mean,
it's very funny to talk about.
Okay, so yeah, he resigned after Brexit, and then Theresa May, who's even more heartless, right? And then you have.
Wow.
And then you have the guy on Labour is Jezza Corbyn, who's like just the most unintentionally hilarious person I've ever seen, just because he just doesn't give a shit about that whole faux decorum that seems to rise out of that. Anyways,
I think you underestimate, I guess, the how dominant the right is in Britain at the moment. I mean, when Labour were Blairists, they pretty much absolutely lost the working class, and still most working class people outside of the Labour strongholds in the north are
Tory.
No, UKIP really, or Conservative, but kind of. The Conservatives basically appeal to the working class by kind of waving, look at Labour and their immigration,
Right.
I don't know, it's kind of, I assume this is kind of going out to the English-speaking internet, in which case it will be mostly Americans, so it's hard to explain.
It's sort of, well, no, it's not that hard to explain. I think it's very similar to Trump. The whole build a wall and make Mexico pay for it, or make America great again by disallowing Muslims from entering the country. Sounds Similar to what that ghoul Nigel Farage proposes, right? I mean, um,
Yeah, we'll go with that. We have a pretty natural wall though.
yeah. I mean,
it's a couple kilometers wide.
it's a
Made
C.
of water.
If it can keep out the Krauts, it can keep out anyone. Anyways, so one of the cool things about the interview being today is there's some shit that's gone down. You know about it. I know about it.
I've been doing fucking revision all day. What's happened?
The socialism thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like in the real world.
No. The real world is inconsequential and completely boring. Online, however, is precisely the opposite. So can you talk a little bit about what separates leftypol from, say, the Reddit leftist community, and why the two are often in such hostile negotiations?
Well, I mean, the thing about leftypol, and really the thing about imageboard culture or Chan culture, whatever you want to call it, is you can't really justify it outside of Chan culture. It's like the internet, right? If you had to explain the internet to someone who doesn't use it, they wouldn't get it, and they probably, like, if you had to explain, like, it'd be like trying to convince your grandma to get a Facebook account, you know? She wouldn't get it. You don't get it until you're already immersed in it. And that's the thing with leftypol. People are like, why would you go on a thing that's constantly raided by Nazis and has an almost non-existent moderation? Like, people, you know, I mean, the Reddit system is more innately appealing. You know, the system of karma. I don't actually have Reddit, so everything I know about it is, you know, gleams secondhand. Things like karma, upvote, downvote. Is it upvote? No, upvote. So,
vote, not boat. A bit different.
Yeah. But I guess what separates leftypol is the freedom of the discourse. I mean, I assume I don't have to give like a rundown of what's happened on our socialism. Anyone probably knows because you're probably. But it's really it's representative. Really, this kind of thing has been happening for years. It was just because it was someone quite high profile who it happened to that there was a fuss kicked up about it. I mean, as soon as she did it, people started coming forward about how the mods had just arbitrarily banned them and stuff, and the user base were absolutely mad at the mods. I mean, you saw some of the threats before they got deleted. If you went on, do you know about Seddon?
I looked at it sort of yesterday when it was morning for me, so it would have been like afternoon for you.
Well, the point is the people were fed up, and the mods were having none of it really. I mean, the mods have this veneer of respectability really. They have their little mod elections, the larpiest shit I've ever heard of. But just like the real elections in real life, everyone knows it doesn't actually make a difference, because there'll be the same 4 or 5 people at the top deciding everything. You know that Handsome Jack 94 mod, who was the one who was sort of in the thread harassing everyone?
No, I don't. But I mean, I'm in a lot of ML groups on Facebook that are run sort of the same way, so I know what you're talking about.
Oh, fuck's sake! Honestly, I just, the whole internet drama thing is so fucking pathetic. And by almost, I mean I really can't be fucking arsed, if I'm honest, to like. It barely even bears talking about. The only reason I think it bears any significance at all is because if you Google Reddit socialism, or even like socialism online or whatever, our socialism subreddit is the first result that comes up. So that's like the first thing people see. And if they jump in and decide to start posting, and like they're immediately banned for saying something is dumb, oh, you're ableist, oh, you can't call someone an idiot, you know. It's just the most arbitrary rubbish. I mean, the Richard D. Wolff thing is emblematic, really. You know, we actually funded a leftist organization that's putting a message out to the real world, doing a monthly economic, you know, like we're actually doing shit, materially making a difference. whereas they're sort of LARPing on their shitty board.
Yeah, and one of the things I wanted to ask is, I know leftypol is kind of weird, and it's just this weird corner of the internet that has like this niche following. But there's something real about it that's not real about most of the other groups I'm in. So most of the other groups I'm in, whether they be like Facebook groups or Reddit, or they're all heavily Marxist-Leninist, and because of that, they're more interested in sort of talking about how great previous socialist states were, or even current ones if it's the DPRK or something. Um, or some of them even.
Defend Kim Jong-un against Western imperialism, hoorah!
Even some of them say China is still socialist. It's pretty amazing actually. Um, and but no talk of actually doing things that matter. And leftypol, I'm not saying leftypol does anything important. I mean, obviously, no. You all shitpost. I sort of lurk and see you guys shitpost mainly. But why is it that sort of image board culture has lent to something that seems more genuine than, say, like Reddit culture or even like Facebook culture?
Well, I guess it's a sort of culture of anarchy, and I don't mean anarchy in the political sense. I mean it in the more literal sense. You know, I mean, most people who come who come to leftypol have come either from pol or for actually that's not really related at all. Sorry, I'm not very good at organising myself like this. If I'm just asked something on the spot.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The point is, it's like you feel like you can speak your mind, and even if people will call you a faggot or other words, which I won't say because I don't want them being dragged up against me and then me being fired sometime. But you know, I'm not sure why I'm saying whatever.
I can edit out.
You feel like you can speak your mind, and you won't be like banned. You'll get abused for sure, but you know, on socialism or whatever, there's this genuine feeling that you have to toe the party line, you know. Whereas on leftypol, it's like you can say something like, you know what? I actually think that we should send every single person over the age of 30 to the gulag, and people will be like, you know what? That's not such a bad fucking idea, actually.
Well, that's I mean, it's not that bad of an idea. So
I, for one, am staunchly in favour of state-sanctioned girlfriends.
So that state-sanctioned girlfriends is a good segue to the next thing I wanted to talk to you about is the usage of irony. Is something that like fascinates me, right? It's a very much I guess a double-edged sword. People try to use it and just fail spectacularly, but it seems like on the left there's this resurgence in irony as a means of communication. Well,
that's just because people on the left are more funny.
Yeah, so is it merely just a comedy thing, or do you think there's some truth in irony that you can't say if you're being completely genuine about your things?
I think it's mainly just because, I mean, this isn't really a radical position, but people on the left wing are funny, and moderates aren't funny, and right wingers are really unfunny but think they're very funny. And it also has a lot to do with the fact that the current generation, not just in the US, but you know, in the UK and across Europe, are growing up worse off than their parents. And I mean, since the post-war economic miracle and the McCarthy plan in Europe, which you know ensured prosperity for all the Western European countries, that hasn't been the case. You know, each generation has been growing up richer than the one before, and there's been this genuine sense that you can sort of achieve anything. And since and that stopped. I mean, it did start to go downhill a little during the early 2000s, but the 2008 economic crisis really, you know, it put the boot in, as it were. Yeah, let's say it put the boot in really, and now there's a genuine sense of sort of alienation of hopelessness, I guess, and sort of Trump, Brexit. I hate that word, but Brexit. It's all compounding it really. I mean, look at the political engagement rates. I actually haven't studied that in America that hard, but I know they're a lot lower than they were 50 years ago.
In the U.S. election, the 2016 engagement rates and voter rate in the 2016 presidential election was the lowest it had been in at least 2 decades. And if you look at all the data, it wasn't that Trump won all these voters, it was that Clinton lost them. So Clinton sort of was unable to beat Obama's 2008 numbers, which were really high, and Obama's 2012 numbers, which were fairly moderate. And it should have been fairly easy for her to do that. But the voter engagement rate was notably lower than it was before in the U.S.
Actually, if you give me 5 minutes, I can go get my book, because I actually study U.S. politics for A2, so I actually have stats and shit written out. So
yeah, U.S. politics is boring. I would not recommend starting it, but
okay, never mind.
I'm just kidding.
My point is, the sense of sort of alienation leads to this sort of irony culture, this culture of detaching yourself, as it were. If they can't tell when we're being serious and when we're not, then you sort of feel a little bit superior. Let's be honest. I mean, let's not sort of. There is a sense of sort of getting the better of the bigwigs, the corporate stooges. In a corporate account tries to make a sort of kid down with the kids meme or whatever. Oh, I hate that word.
Like Denny's.
And we all laugh at them and mock them, and inside you feel a little good, like, haha, I'm funnier than McDonald's.
Yeah.
That's how it is. I mean, I'm kind of peeling back all the layers of irony here.
No, that's good.
I'm sitting here in the chair in my kitchen. I'm completely naked. I'm readjusting my dick. It's like in an uncomfortable position.
Well, that's. I mean, sometimes you have to do that type of thing.
No, that was a reverse move there, because I was actually saying I was peeling back the layers of irony, but I was actually just being funnier.
Yeah.
That's what earned me 420 followers. I'm pissed because it hit 420 in the night. I missed it. I came down for 421.
Oh, that's brutal, man. So I have one last.
I'm going to try and get 3 people to unfollow me just so I can get a little screenshot.
So I have one more question for you, and that question is for those of us who are always online and never log off, but are also leftists, maybe also irony leftists. What is our task to do now that we are living in a world where 2 of the world's largest superpowers have chosen right-wing demagogues after years of what would seem like political stability? We've been thrown into right-wing demagoguery.
I wouldn't say that we've had years of political stability. I'd have said you should have seen this coming.
I said
whatever. Okay, go on.
What seems like political stability, and what seems to be is not what always is the case, right? At least in America, there's this idea that Obama was somewhat of a centrist, and that he was, at least
right. Go on. I get it. I get it.
I mean, he wasn't. I mean, he fucking overthrew half of Latin America. But so, what is our task now that people are now suddenly shocked into realizing what the state of the world is for those of us that are online?
Log off and join a party and start getting engaged. Seriously, just like. You don't actually achieve anything on the internet. When you see your follower count rising or whatever, it feels pretty good. You might get a little boner when you see yourself hit 420 followers or whatever, or subscribers on YouTube. But I mean, it doesn't make a real difference. You have to actually join a party, join a local activist group, whatever, and actually make a tangible material difference in the real world. Or you're just pretty much joining a leftist online circle jerk.
All right. Well, that's the last question I have for you. Do you have any questions for me, or do you have any final statements that you want to get out?
Eloquent.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.